Recollection by Reeve Aldrich, 1866 to 1892. How can it be that I forget the way he phrased my doom, when I recall the arabesques that carpeted the room? How can it be that I forget his look and mine that hour, when I recall I wore a rose and still can smell the flower? How can it be that I forget those words that were his last, when I recall the tune a man was whistling as he passed? These things are what we keep from life's supremest joy or pain, for memory locks her chaff in bins and throws away the grain. Okay, this poem is by Reeve Aldrich. She was an American. She was born in New York City, and I think when she was 8 her father died, and she moved to the country with her mother, who educated her. And she started writing poetry at a very early age, and she was first published age 17. Notice, very sadly, she died at the age of 26, so very young. So this poem is about memory. This poem is about the way we remember things and the things that we remember. And I think it's a very clear and interesting thought. So she says, how can it be that I forget the way he phrased my doom? So in this small sentence, she's put a huge amount of meaning. So how is it possible that I can forget the way he told me that our relationship was over? I can't remember the words he used. I can't remember the way he phrased it to say, yeah, this relationship has come to an end. We can't continue. When I recall the arabesques that carpeted the room. However, I can remember the arabesques, the shapes on the carpet of the room. So she can clearly remember the shapes of the carpet, but she can't remember the words he used, the way he phrased it when he said the relationship was over. And she can't understand why she can remember the shapes of the carpet, but she can't remember the exact words that he used. How can it be that I forget his look and mien that hour? So how can it be that I can forget the look on his face and his mien, his demeanour, the way he held himself, the pose that he had? So she can't remember how he looked. She can't remember his body language, how he stood. When I recall I wore a rose and still can smell the flower. But she can remember that she was wearing a rose on her dress, for example. And she can still smell that rose, but she can't remember how he looked. She can't remember his demeanour. And she just can't understand why life is like this. How can it be that I forget those words that were his last? So how is it possible that she forgets the last words he says to her as he breaks up their relationship? And clearly she is still in love with him and she still loves him. But she can't remember his last words. When I recall the tune a man was whistling as he passed. But she can remember that there was somebody walking by and there was somebody whistling a tune. And she even remembers that tune, but she can't remember his words. These things are what we keep from life's supremest joy or pain. So these tiny details These irrelevant details are the things that we remember from moments of extreme happiness or extreme pain. And for memory locks her chaff in bins and throws away the grain. So we've got the chaff. The chaff is the outside skin that covers a seed, and the chaff is the bit that you don't want. Yeah, the chaff is the chaff is no good. Yeah, and she says that memory, it keeps the chaff and throws away the seed. So the memory remembers irrelevant, unimportant things, but it doesn't retain the most important things, because we have this phrase, to sort the wheat from the chaff. Yeah, to sort the seeds from the chaff. The chaff is the irrelevant bit that you don't want, but memory keeps the chaff. It keeps the irrelevant tiny details and throws away the most important essence of things. So enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Recollection by Reeve Aldrich.